Okay, in the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, seek refuge in God from Satan the rejected. Aku berlindung pada Tuhan dari syaitan yang terkutuk. Okay, for today's topic, we're going to continue on the topic of Kafir where we previously left off. So this is Kafir part 2. So Kafir by definition is disbelievers, right? So kita akan sambung topik hari ni tentang topik Kafir part yang kedua. Dan okay. Okay, so mari kita mulakan. Okay, so the breakdown for this particular map is quite straightforward. We will go from top to bottom. The bottom part talks more about the punishment, and the top part talks about how a person becomes kafir, and essentially how they transform, right, from being a potential believer to losing that option and then becoming kafir and the consequences that follows. Okay, jadi perjalanan peta ni adalah pada atas tentang sesuatu yang berlaku kepada orang yang kafir kerana pilihannya dan perjalanannya untuk menjadi kafir, dan belah bawah ni adalah tentang hukuman yang diterima kerana kekafirannya. Okay, so we start off with 7101. Okay, those cities, we relate to you some of their news, and certainly their messengers come to them with clear proofs, but they were not to believe in that which they have denied before, and thus God sealed over their hearts of the disbelievers. Negeri-negeri yang telah kami binasakan itu, kami ceritakan sebahagian dari beritanya kepadamu, dan sungguh telah datang kepada mereka rasul-rasul mereka dengan membawa bukti-bukti yang nyata. Maka mereka tidak beriman kepada apa yang dahulunya mereka mendustakan. Demikianlah Allah mengunci mata hati orang-orang kafir. So Tuhan mengunci mata hati orang kafir. Dan kenapa hati mereka dikunci? Kerana mereka tidak menerima bukti-bukti, tanda-tanda yang nyata yang disampaikan dari rasul-rasul. Okay, so why are their hearts sealed? Is because of not responding to the signs of God in a positive manner, and these signs are relayed through the messengers that are interacting with them. So the signs of God are very important, especially if you remember the last topic. There are only 3 moments in life where these signs come, or when you will realize that you are a kafir: when the verses of God come to you, or during death when the angel interact with you, or during resurrection. So your response to the signs of God is very, very important. Sometimes signs might not be in a form of verses, also can be in a form of like Pharaoh's case, it was a miracle. Yeah, so this is very important. Jadi tanda-tanda ni adalah amat penting, kerana seperti yang dibincangkan dalam topik yang lalu tentang kafir, kesedaran kita kafir datang hanyalah 3 masa, apabila ayat-ayat Tuhan datang, atau apabila kita mati, bila kita berinteraksi dengan malaikat, ataupun apabila kita dibangkitkan. Jadi masa-masa inilah yang genting, yang kita kena buat keputusan untuk memperbaiki diri kita. Okay, kalau tidak, kita hati kita mungkin boleh dikunci oleh Tuhan. Okay, now that is so God will weaken the plot of the disbelievers. Okay, itulah karunia Allah yang dilimpahkan kepadamu, dan semuanya Allah melemahkan tipu daya orang-orang kafir. So the disbelievers, their planning or their schemes will be weakened by God. Right? So the believers, I think the opposite will happen. They're going to be strengthened. Okay? So that's why God always say, just be patient. Okay? You wait and I also will wait. Okay, 35, 39. It is He who has made you successors upon the earth, and whoever disbelieves, upon Him will be the consequences of disbelief. And the disbelief of the disbelievers does not increase them in the sight of their Lord, except in hatred. And the disbelief of the disbelievers does not increase them except in loss. Yeah, so you can see that the slippery slope that this is predicated on. You see the disbelievers, once they disbelieve, what increases is only hatred in the sight of God. And then what increases is loss. So there's a correlation between God hating of your disbelief and the increase in your loss. So there is a correlation there. Dia lah yang menjadikan kamu khalifah-khalifah di muka bumi. Barang siapa yang kafir, maka kekafirannya menimpa dirinya sendiri. Dan kekafiran, orang-orang kafir itu tidak lain hanyalah akan menambah kemurkaan pada sisi Tuhannya. Dan kekafiran orang-orang yang kafir itu tidak lain hanyalah akan menambahkan kerugian mereka belaka. Jadi kita boleh lihat ayat ni menonjolkan masalah kekafiran. Jadi dia bertimpa-timpa lah, bertimbun-timbun. Jadi orang yang kafir tu kemukaan Allah akan tambah kepadanya, dan apabila kemukaan Allah tambah, kerugiannya pun bertambah juga. Jadi dia bukan satu dimensi je lah, bermacam dimensi bila kita kafir. Dan bukan tu saja, kita punya rancangan pun Tuhan melemahkan orang kafir punya rancangan. Jadi ada banyak kesan yang datang. Okay, this part we're going to look at 9 verse 3. So 9 verse 3 shows you a picture of men participating in tug of war. So this shows you the struggle between believers and disbelievers. Ayat seterusnya akan bincang tentang orang beriman dan orang tak beriman, bagaimana mereka merebut kuasa lah. Ibarat gambar ni menarik tali. So 9 verse 3. And it is announcement from God and his messenger to the people on the day of the greater challenge, Hari Haji Akbar, that God is disassociated from the disbelievers, and so is his messenger. And if you repent, that is best for you. But if you turn away, then know that you will not cause failure to God. Give tidings of those who disbelieve of a painful punishment. Okay, so inilah satu pemakluman dari Allah dan Rasulnya kepada umat manusia pada hari cabaran yang besar. Cabaran yang lebih besar. Bahawa sesungguhnya Allah dan Rasulnya berlepas diri dari orang yang musyrikin. Kemudian jika kamu bertaubat, maka taubat itu lebih baik bagimu. Jika kamu berpaling, maka ketahuilah bahawa sesungguhnya kamu tidak dapat melemahkan Allah. Dan beritakanlah kepada orang-orang kafir siksa yang pedih. Jadi inilah hari cabaran, mengambil cabaran yang besar. Jadi kalau orang-orang kafir, jadi mereka dapat siksa yang pedih. For those who turn away or disbelieve, for them is a painful punishment. So there must be a form of response or proactive stance. Because if you don't take a proactive approach, what you end up being is a hypocrite. You have the knowledge, but you don't execute it, or you hide the truth. Then what's the point of you receiving that news? You won't make a difference. Itu 89-91. And this is another example of how the signs of God reach a particular individual, but because of envy, he refused to accept, or he take issue that the messenger is not of his race. Ini adalah satu contoh bagaimana manusia tidak terima petanda yang sampai kepadanya dari Tuhan, kerana merasa cemburu yang ilmu Allah itu datang kepada orang yang bukan dari kaumnya. And when there came to them a book from God, confirming that which is with them, although before them they used to pray for victory against those who disbelieve. But when it came to them, that which they recognized, they disbelieved in it. So the curse of God will be upon the disbelievers. How wretched is that for which they sold themselves? That they will be disbelievers in what God has revealed through their outrage, that God will send down his favor upon whom he wills of his servants. So they return having earned wrath upon wrath. And for the disbelievers, it's a humiliating punishment. And when it is said to them, believe in what God has revealed, they say, we believe only in what was revealed to us. And the disbelievers, and they disbelieve in what came after it, while it's the truth, confirming that which is with them. Say, why then did you not kill, why did you kill the prophets of God before, if you are indeed believers? Dan setelah datang kepada mereka Al-Quran dari Allah yang membenarkan apa yang ada pada mereka, padahal sebelumnya mereka biasa memohon untuk mendapat kemenangan atas orang-orang kafir. Maka setelah datang kepada mereka apa yang telah mereka ketahui, mereka ingkar kepadanya. Maka laknat Allah atas orang-orang yang ingkar itu. Alangkah buruknya mereka yang menjual dirinya sendiri dengan kekafiran pada apa yang telah diturunkan Allah, kerana dengki bahawa Allah menurunkan karunia-Nya kepada siapa yang dihendakinya antara hamba-hambanya. Kerana itu mereka mendapat murka sesudah kemurkaan. Dan untuk orang-orang yang kafir, siksaan yang menghinakan. Dan apabila dikatakan kepada mereka, berimanlah kepada Al-Quran yang diturunkan Allah, mereka berkata, kami hanya beriman kepada apa yang diturunkan kepada kami. Dan mereka kafir kepada Al-Quran yang diturunkan sesudahnya. Sedang Al-Quran itu adalah yang hak. Mereka yang membenarkan apa yang ada pada mereka. Katakanlah, mengapa kamu dahulu membunuh Nabi-Nabi jika kamu orang-orang yang beriman. So this is an example how humans can turn into disbelievers because of existing flaw in their heart. In this case, it's envy. It can be other things. It can be pride. For example, in the case of Iblis, it was pride. Command of God came, refused to carry out because of pride. I'm better than this creation. That's another example. So there are multiple examples. Okay, so you got to be careful of pride. You got to be careful of envy. You got to be careful of lust. These are some of the things that can block you from executing the command of God or bypassing the command of God. These are the things you must be aware. Okay. So dalam bahasa Melayu lah. Okay. So inilah satu contoh kerana cemburu tu menghalang manusia untuk mendatang atau menerima atau memikul arahan Tuhan. Kerana cemburu dia lihat ini bukan kaumku. Jadi ada sesetengah bangsa yang selalu memikirkan bangsanya lebih baik daripada bangsa yang lain-lain. Ini mendatangkan masalah kerana fikiran yang bangga, pride. Jadi isu-isu bangga, isu-isu cemburu, isu lust. Dalam Melayu apa lah? Nafsu. Sifat-sifat negatif ni akan menghalang seseorang untuk memikul arahan Tuhan. Jadi kalau kita ada benda-benda ni, cepatlah buang. Sebab apa yang boleh selamatkan diri sendiri. Kalau tak buang, susah nak. Tanda tu kat depan pun tak boleh pikul. Pasal dalam belum bersih. Jadi tak boleh angkat. Jadi kita nak kena buang cepat-cepat. Sadar, cepat-cepat tukar. Jangan tunggu-tunggu. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, next is 9:26. Okay, then God sent down his tranquility upon his messenger and upon the believers, and sent down soldier angels, whom you do not see, and punish those who disbelieve. And that is the recompense of the disbelievers. Kemudian Allah menurunkan ketenangan kepada Rasulnya dan kepada orang-orang yang beriman. Dan Allah menurunkan bala tentera yang kamu tiada melihatnya. Dan Allah menempatkan bencana pada orang-orang kafir. Demikian pembalasan pada orang-orang yang kafir. Okay, so from here you can see that previously we discussed about how believers and disbelievers they were clash. Definitely will clash because the disbelievers have their own way of thinking. They follow their forefathers. They think that whatever we are doing is right. When the signs come in, they will argue, they will challenge because they have either some form of pride or some form of negative emotions that is within them that they cannot accept God's guidance. So these two will definitely clash. Okay, and then after that, this verse comes in and God highlights how He supported the believers and sent the calmness. Right? And if you remember in 18, God said that He will weaken the plot of the disbelievers. So the disbelievers will never win. Right? Okay. So in Malay, okay. So ayat ni menerangkan tentang kesudahan apa yang telah berlaku dari ayat yang sebelumnya. Ayat 93 tadi bincang tentang beriman dan tak beriman selalu berentak lah. Mereka tak bersetuju. Jadi ini ayat seterusnya Tuhan menunjukkan bagaimana Tuhan menyelamatkan orang yang beriman. Okay? Dan bagaimana Tuhan melemahkan orang-orang yang kafir. Okay, now we look at 850, 750 and so on. So the scenario is getting worse and worse, okay, for the kafir. So on earth already you see their plot being weakened, God letting the believers overcome the disbelievers, and during death it gets even worse. So we are going to talk about death and afterlife lah. So you will see how this or the disbelievers are being big slowly. I use the word big lah. Okay. So kita akan melihat bagaimana orang-orang kafir kehidupan dia akan jadi lebih teruk. Dalam dunia aja kita dah nampak tanda-tanda bagaimana benda tu, bagaimana hidup mereka disekat oleh Tuhan atau bagaimana mereka dijatuhkan. Tapi bila masa mati dengan hidup yang seterusnya makin teruk. 850. And if you could but see when the angels take the souls of those who disbelieve, they are striking their faces and backs and saying, taste the punishment of the burning fire. Okay. 750 sorry. Dan kalau kamu melihat ketika para malaikat mencabut jiwa orang-orang yang kafir, saya memukul muka dan belakang mereka, saya berkata, rasakanlah siksa neraka yang membakar. Jadi mereka dah disampaikan berita yang buruk lah, yang mereka akan dihantar ke neraka apabila kematian tu datang. And the companions of the fire were called to the companions of the paradise. Pour upon us some water, or from whatever God has provided you. And they will say, indeed God has forbidden them both to the disbelievers. Dan penghuni neraka menyeru penghuni syurga, limpahkan kepada kami sedikit air atau makanan yang telah direzekikan Allah kepadamu. Dan mereka menjawab, sungguhnya Allah telah mengharamkan keduanya itu atas orang-orang yang kafir. So this is an example of how they are being denied. Inilah contoh bagaimana orang kafir tak dipedulikan. Okay, 10 verse 4. Okay, to him is your return altogether. The promise of God is true. Indeed, he begins creation and then repeats it, and he may reward those who have believed and done righteous deeds in justice. But those who disbelieve will have drink of scalding water and a painful punishment for what they used to deny. Hanya kepadanya lah kamu semuanya akan kembali sebagai janji yang benar daripada Allah. Sesungguhnya Allah menciptakan makhluk pada permulaannya, kemudian mengulanginya kembali, agar dia memberi pembalasan kepada orang-orang yang beriman dan yang mengerjakan amal saleh dengan adil. Dan untuk orang-orang kafir disediakan minuman air panas dan azab yang pedih disebabkan kekafiran mereka. So not only disbelievers are denied, they are also tortured, giving scalding water, and that's a drink for them. I think there's other verse that say that the drink will melt their intestine also. So that's not only from the outside, from inside also you get tortured. And this is what we can think of lah. I'm sure there's things that we never think of that is there also. I'm sure. Okay. So jadi inilah sebagai contoh apa yang orang kafir ni bukan hanya dia tidak dilayani tapi diberikan satu macam punya torture lah, hukum minum air yang panas. Ada ayat lain yang cakap air panas tu akan memotong usus dia, jadi bukan pada luar aja, dalam pun kena torture. Yang ni apa yang kita boleh fikir, apa yang kita tak tahu mesti ada jugalah, pasal dekat sana ni lagi tinggi pada mafia so so nak kena letak kat otak kita benda ni serius lah. Kita lebih suka kena tangkap dengan mafia daripada masuk neraka lah. Okay. Indeed, those who disbelieve in our verses, we will drive them into a fire. Every time their skins are roasted, we will replace them with other skin, so they will taste punishment. Indeed, God is ever exalted in mind and wise. Sesungguhnya orang yang kafir kepada ayat kami, kelak kami masukkan mereka ke dalam neraka. Setiap kali kulit mereka hangus, kami gantikan kulit mereka dengan kulit yang lain, supaya mereka merasakan azab. Sesungguhnya Allah Maha Perkasa, lagi Maha Bijaksana. Dari sini kita boleh lihat siksaan dia tak berhenti lah. Dah kena bakar boleh repeat balik, sambung. Ini pun mafia tak boleh buat. So ni ni hukuman ke atas. Okay, so essentially the punishment never ends. It keeps on repeating. So this is the power of God that He can do all these things. So if that does not drive fear in you to pay attention and try to change things when the signs reach you, and then just remember this, don't forget this. As for those who disbelieve, will be the fire of hell. Death is not decreed for them, so they may die. Nor will its torment be lightened for them. Thus, we recompense every ungrateful one, or in the Arabic, kafurin. Dan orang-orang kafir, bagi mereka neraka jahanam. Mereka tidak dibinasakan sehingga mereka mati dan tidak diringankan bagi mereka azabnya. Demikian kami membalas setiap orang yang sangat kafir. Jadi ada satu topik pernah cakap pasal tambahan. Dekat neraka pun ada tambahan-tambahan dia. So benda ni akan sambung. So there's another topic that expands on this, where in hell also, and if you think this is the maximum, you're wrong. There's also increase also. So for both parties, for both sides also, heaven and hell. So if you think that things will get better, one day it will end, it's going to get worse. So that's the punishment of God. So that's why the Satan also declared in one of the other verse, they actually run away and avoid, because they say the punishment of God is very severe. Okay, so I hope this set of verses really drive in the message. 13:36. And those to whom we have given the scripture rejoice at what has been revealed to you. But among the opposing factions are those who deny part of it. See, I have only been commanded to serve God and not associate anything with Him. To Him I invite, and to Him is my return. Okay, so I just want to highlight this part first before I go to the Malay part. So you can see that the believers, by right, they should be one group. But what happened is, the receivers of the different books, they tend to isolate themselves, or they call themselves by certain religion, okay, and they refuse to acknowledge new revelation. So this is a very common problem amongst people of so-called religion. Because Barat, when they receive what is revealed, there are a group or factions who deny part of it. Yeah. So this is a danger also. Like whenever a new revelation comes in, you tend to hold on to your whole belief. Orang yang telah kami berikan kitab kepada mereka bergembira dengan kitab yang diturunkan kepadamu. Dan di antara golongan-golongan yang bersekutu, ada yang mengingkari sebahagiannya. Katakanlah, sebenarnya aku hanya diperintahkan untuk menyembah Allah atau berkhidmat kepada Allah dan tidak mempersekutukan sesuatu pun dengan dia. Hanya kepadanya lah aku seru, hanya kepadanya lah aku kembali. Ini satu contoh bagaimana orang yang menerima kitab yang dah lalu, mereka mengingkari sebahagian yang diwahyukan, kitab yang baru. Ini adalah amat berlaku sering kali berlaku. Kerana manusia dia dah rasa selesa dengan apa yang dia dah mengetahui. Apabila maklumat baru datang, mereka menjadi resistant atau mereka tak boleh menerima dengan hati yang terbuka. Okay. Jadi sepatutnya orang-orang yang baca kitab ni patut dia mengakui kebenaran ni satu. Mereka dapat melihat dari sudut yang amat besar. Okay, 460. Have you not seen those who claim to have believed what was revealed to you? And what was revealed before you? They wish to refer legislation to takhut. That means they want to refer to older laws. While they were commanded to reject it. And Satan wished to lead them far astray. Dan apakah kamu tidak memperhatikan orang yang mengaku dirinya telah beriman kepada apa yang diturunkan kepadamu dan apa yang diturunkan sebelum kamu? Mereka hendak berhakim kepada takhut. Padahal mereka telah diperintah mengingkari takhut itu. Syaitan bermaksud menyesatkan mereka dengan penyesatan yang sejauh-jauhnya. Jadi ayat ni pun cakap pasal percaya kitab dahulu dengan apa yang diturunkan kepadamu dan apa yang sebelum kamu. Kitab-kitab yang lalu. Tapi mereka tak nak berhukum dengan apa kitab-kitab ni, dan mereka ingin berhukum kepada takhut. Takhut tu adalah sesuatu yang luar daripada arahan kitab. Okay? So hadis adalah satu contoh takhut, sesuatu yang tidak disyurkan oleh Tuhan. Perkataan takhut ni kadang-kadang jadi masalah di sesetengah negeri. Ada orang yang menyalah gunakan perkataan takhut ni. Mereka cakap orang-orang polis semua adalah takhut. Misalnya lah, contoh. Ini berlaku di negeri luar lah. Jadi pahaman takhut ni kadang-kadang disalahgunakan juga. Jadi memusuh pula dengan government. Kadang-kadang government tu neutral, tapi mereka anggap ni bukan Islamic country, dia cakap dia anggap ni takhut, jadi masalah. So there are some situation or scenarios where people misuse the term takhut. They claim that the police or the government is actually a form of takhut, they say, because they are not Islamic. And this is wrong. We are talking about taking your commands as in spiritual commands. We're not talking about ruling or governance. So it's two different issues. Some people become terrorists because of having a wrong understanding of this, which is critical. Okay, so we've come to the end of the first part of the first topic, I would say. Kafir. Any questions so far? For those of you who are online, thank you for joining us. Please help me click the like button if you can help. This will help to spread awareness of the videos. All right. And if you have questions, please you can put in the chat if there's any. And for those here also, if you have, we can discuss if there is. 75, yes, 750, yes. Water, yes. They can see, yes, they can see. This is covered in the, I think the 746, if I'm not mistaken, there's a hijab. Hijab means like a barrier, but you can see. But there is a barrier you cannot cross. Same like the Quran, the sign is there. It's on the table. Everybody can see, but not everybody can terima. Jadi ayat ni cakap pasal itu apa ni? Tanda-tanda pasal syurga dan neraka kita boleh melihat lah. Tak ada macam dia ada hijab. Hijab tu ada. Tapi boleh nampak, boleh berinteraksi tapi tak boleh tembusi lah. Sama macam tanda-tanda ayat Tuhan, macam kitab kat dunia ni. Semua orang boleh nampak. Beriman nampak, tak beriman pun nampak. Tapi tak semua boleh pikul. Yang beriman aja orang kasi izin pikul. Tak beriman tak boleh. They won't help. Burning sugar, see that this is forbidden. Mengharamkan keduanya untuk orang kafir. You cannot. You cannot. They won't do so. Yeah. Because you need to be compliant to God's law, then you can go heaven. Yeah. Okay. So that's the scenario lah. Okay. And there are also other, I think another verse that talks about I think chapter 36 about this particular person who, remember, he has a friend last time on earth who nearly misled him, and then he went and see that his friend is in hell. So you can actually travel also, yeah, within the afterlife. You have the rights to travel. Yeah. So it reminds me of chapter 2, I think 212 lah. God say on earth the disbelievers will mock the believers. But on that day, the believers can actually visit the disbelievers and perhaps return the mocking back to them. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how it works. So if you feel down, then that's something to cheer you up in a sense in the future. Delayed gratification. Okay. Right. Okay. So I think we are done with the first topic. So the next topic we will run the session at 8:45. So in the meantime, we can do some internal discussion first for those who are here. So for those online, salam. We will link up with you in probably 8:45. Okay. So I end the stream now.